The Aldis podcast is brought to you by Aldis International, supplying your expert AI and digital transformation staffing needs across the US and Europe. Today, you are listening to our AI in Action series, where leading minds in AI from across the world share their story, success, and advice. AI in Action cuts through the hype and explores the true impact of artificial intelligence in our world today.
You're listening to AI in Action. I'm your host, JP Valentine. Our guest today is Chen Peng. Chen is the head of data at Faire. Chen, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, we're delighted to have you. So Chen, let's start with yourself, please, as we do with all of our guests. Could you give us an overview of your journey in technology, from where you got started, some of the roles you've held along the way, and take us up to today as the head of data for Faire?
I was born and grew up in mainland China. I studied automatic control for my undergrad at Zhejiang University in China, and then came to the United States in 2007. I did a PhD in Stanford in operational research. After graduation, I first joined Google in 2011 as a data scientist working on cloud infrastructure planning and optimization. I did that for about 3 years, and then in 2014, I left Google and joined Uber. I felt excited to go to a much earlier stage company at the time and potentially, help build some of the data science systems at Uber from scratch. Not to mention, Uber has a lot of very cool real-time pricing and network optimization problems that could really leverage both my PhD training in operational research as well as my skills in applied stats and also machine learning that I picked up at Google. At Uber, I initially worked on building a demand forecasting and supply positioning system for the ride-sharing business. Then in early 2015, I transferred to the Uber Eats team as one of its first data scientists during the inception stage of the Eats business. I spent the following 5 years working on Eats, building from the ground up and also leading the Uber Eats data science and the data analytics organization. I scaled the team to almost 100 people at its peak, and we supported the Eats business to grow from zero to almost $25 billion annualized GMV run rate when I left. My team there worked on all sorts of cool machine learning and optimization problems, such as ranking and recommendation, meal delivery time prediction, real-time pricing, incentive optimization, dispatch optimization, etc. I also grew into a full-fledged leader, in the data space during my time at Uber. So I would say that was definitely a very transformative period of my career. I left Uber and joined Faire to lead Faire's data organization in the summer of 2020. In retrospect, it was definitely hard to say goodbye to the great team I built at Uber, but I was also excited to be able to go back in time and help build and also scale a startup from its early stage once again. I think that the hyper-growth phase of a company is often the most challenging, exciting, and also rewarding period during its life cycle. I joined Faire when the company had about 200 employees and roughly 10 people on the data team with a $1 billion valuation. And fast forward to today, 2.5 years later, we now have over 1,200 people in the company, almost 70 engineers and data scientists in my organization, and the company was last valued at more than $12 billion. So it definitely has been a wild ride in the last 2.5 years.
Amazing. Chen, firstly, thank you so much for the detailed background. Very impressive journey today. You've worked for some incredible organizations and obviously had a lot of success in each of the roles. But you talked about your move to Faire and what an amazing 2 years it's been. For people listening who are not as familiar with Faire, could you tell us about the business, who you are, what you do, what the mission of the organization is?
Absolutely. So Faire is a B2B e-commerce marketplace for wholesale. So we are a platform where independent retailers can discover and also buy products for their stores from a large variety of brands. Right? So similar to Amazon, it's e-commerce. The difference is we don't sell to individual consumers, right? So the buyers and the sellers on the platform are both business. 6 years ago, when Faire was created, for our founders had a vision, right, to use technology and data to streamline the wholesale shopping experience for this small business and make their life much easier. Fast forward to today, we now have more than 500,000 active retailers and more than 70,000 active brands on the platform. There are more than 10 million products available, covering a very broad range of categories such as gift, home decor, apparel, beauty, pets, food, toys, and more. And I think we're now operating in more than 20 countries across North America and Europe, and are still looking to bring our service to even more places in the world.
You talked in your introduction about your journey, and part of it was becoming a fully fledged leader, which allowed you to secure the role that you've got at Faire as a head of data. Could you
Yeah.
describe the primary responsibilities over your role and give us a bit more detail about the team that you oversee, what it's like day to day, and give us a look behind the scenes?
Sure. So the data team at Faire is currently a 70-person full stack team with both engineers and also data scientists. Our mission is very simple, right? It's to transform data into intelligence and then use the intelligence to drive Faire's product and business. We believe in the power of the data flywheel. Basically, as the business of Faire grows, it produces more data, and we take the data and convert it into intelligent decisions that can then feed back into the business and make the business grow even stronger. I guess more kind of specifically, there are two broad categories of work that my team owns. The first category is building and the underlying infrastructure and platform that collects and organizes the data and enable various kinds of downstream data applications. We have mainly data engineers and also analytics engineers working in this category. Some examples include data warehouse optimization, data modeling, metrics management, designing and implementing canonical data pipelines, building tools for data discoverability and data quality monitoring, etc. In addition, the data infra and platform team also builds and maintains our machine learning platform and also experimentation platform, and both of which are crucial for efficient AI ML development, as well as reliable impact measurement through online experimentation. The second category of work is building the various AI ML applications that are directly integrated into Faire's product itself, or maybe the business process itself. Our data scientists and also machine learning engineers work in this category. Maybe I'll just give you a few examples.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, the first is search and recommendation, right? So where e-commerce is really important that we help the buyers find the most relevant products, especially as I mentioned, there are more than 10 million products on Faire's marketplace today. And it's not easy for the retailer to discover the product they really want to buy. So I think it's really important that we do a good job to help retailer buyers find the most relevant and the most exciting products they want to carry in their stores. So we have a team of data scientists and machine learning engineers focusing on developing these models and algorithms, from query understanding to search retrieval to personalized ranking and recommendation, etc. And one uniquely interesting and challenging dynamic for Faire's discovery problem is that as a marketplace, a big portion of the new retailers sign up actually come from brand referrals. And through some causal inference work, we found that the more orders a brand receives during its first several months on the platform, the more likely they tend to refer new retailers to join Faire. Therefore, the objective function of our search and recommendation system also need to take into account such a secondary effect, right, of impression allocation on brand behavior, and make sure that our system is maximizing the long-term success of our business. So I think that's just one very important and also very challenging problem domain that my team works on. The second example in the data application space is financial underwriting. People may not know that Faire is not only an e-commerce marketplace for making transactions, we also provide financial service to our retailer customers in the form of net 60 terms. Basically, we give retailers certain amounts of credit to spend on the platform, and it's interest-free as long as they pay back within 60 days. Right? So we have a team of data scientists and machine learning engineers building machine learning models using hundreds of features to decide who is eligible to receive the net term and what should be the credit limit for the individual retailers. Over time, the models will also dynamically reassess their risk profiles using the latest ordering and payback behavior of these retailers as signals, and making decisions to either increase or decrease the credit limits. And these machine learning models help Faire drive the most GMV growth while controlling for the default risk. The third example I want to give you is brand acquisition intelligence. Demand-supply balance is very critical, right, for the health of Faire's marketplace. If we onboard too few brands, we obviously would limit the growth of the business. On the other hand, if we onboard too many brands in a given period of time, we would run the risk of having many of them receive little or even no orders at all, hurting the brand experience and their retention. Therefore, we need to constantly be on the lookout and use machine learning and econometric techniques, right, to establish the right number and also the right mix of brands that should be acquired onto the platform in a given time period. When a brand joins Faire, we look for hundreds of features about them, right? From the quality of their photography to the popularity of their website. We combine all the information and fit it into a machine learning model that then predicts the success rate of the brand on our marketplace. The predictions are then fed into a team of human reviewers that act in concert with the machine learning model and double check that our decisions are correct to maximize the likelihood that a great brand will be accepted to Faire's marketplace. In addition to these examples, we also leverage data science and machine learning techniques to optimize marketing spend, price discounts, return policies. The list goes on. I think hopefully that gives you a sense about the type of work that my team works on at Faire.
You are listening to the Aldous podcast. When you're looking to scale your team, or if you are interested in showcasing your company in a future episode, reach out today. Or if you're in the market for a new role, visit our website to view open positions, www.aldous.com.
Chen, in your introduction, you talked about the incredible growth that Faire has experienced since you've joined over the past 2 years. And that's so difficult, especially on the data and analytics and engineering side, to attract that many talented people and retain them. Can you talk to us about what the environment, the culture is like at Faire, and why it's been so attractive to so many talented people who have chose to work there with you?
Definitely. I would say that joining Faire was absolutely the right decision that I made. I definitely have been enjoying my time at Faire in the past 2.5 years. I think there are a couple of things about Faire's culture that make it a fun and also rewarding place to work. First, our culture really balances fierceness and kindness. On the one hand, we are very ambitious, right? And we are very determined in pursuing aggressive goals for the business success. But on the other hand, we are also very kind and respectful towards each other, and we work together in a very collaborative and ego-free manner. Another important cultural value we celebrate at Faire is truth-seeking. At Faire, people are obsessed with facts, not hierarchies, not titles. Our founders and also senior leaders all have a very data-driven mindset and help foster an environment where people are empowered to dig deep to the objective truth and make decisions based on data. I think this is a very profound impact on the value and influence of my organization in particular. That's why I think Faire is especially a great place to work for data professionals because of the truth-seeking culture. Last but not the least, we have a lot of amazing people here that you can partner with, you can learn from, and make friends with. For example, members of the data team previously worked at top-tier companies such as Google, Meta, Amazon, LinkedIn, Uber, Airbnb, Twitter, Square, Pinterest, and many others, right? It's a mixture of top talent that bring to the table diverse skills, perspectives, and also really enrich the experience of each other. So yeah, I think it's a great place to work. And if anyone in the audience is interested in learning more about working at Faire, feel free to ping me on LinkedIn.
Well, that leads nicely then into my next question, which is, as you look ahead for 2023 and beyond that Faire, what are some of the things you're most excited about? And when you're speaking to people about the opportunity at Faire, what is it that you tell them?
There are definitely a lot of things I feel excited about Faire. I think we are still on day one of our journey. Our long-term vision is to build a operating system for wholesale. that has marketplace that provides SaaS products that can also provide financial service, and to make the end-to-end experience of a wholesale shopping seamless. And I think there's still so much things we can do. For example, in this year, in 2023, we're going to continue perfecting the search and recommendation experience for our customers. We are also going to introduce paid placement, right? So it's a functionality that will allow the brands to spend money to get more exposure on the platform. At the same time, it will give us the opportunity to surface some high quality brands to the retailers in different parts of the world. So I think that's a product feature that I'm personally really excited about. I also want to talk a little bit about things outside of Faire. One obvious thing to be excited about at the moment is the stunning advancement in the generative AI field, right, during the past year or so. GPT-3, Copilot, DALL-E, Stable Diffusion, and most recently, the mind-blowing ChatGPT. It really feels like the technology has reached an inflection point, and many exciting new AI applications are being built and also deployed as we speak. Even though Faire is not necessarily a pure AI research company, and I don't think we need to prioritize our resource and energy on pushing the very frontier of the AI technology per se, but I do believe that there are many potential applications and use cases of a generative AI in Faire's product and business, right? And I want to stay informed and stay close to the trend. For example, we are already leveraging the Clip model from OpenAI to generate multimodal embeddings for our products and brands based on both image and also text information. These embeddings help make our product recommendation models perform even better. And down the road, we might also explore leveraging some of these generative AI tools for copywriting and image editing, right? It's a very exciting new world with many opportunities, and I encourage everyone in the data world to keep a close eye on.
Chen, thank you so much for coming on today and talking to us. Great to learn about your own background, an incredible insight into the amazing growth and success at Faire. And you've really given a good representation of why Faire has an amazing culture and is doing so well in the industry, with a lot more to do, as you said, only just getting started. So we wish you, the team, and everyone at Faire the best of luck in 2023. And we look forward to having you back on the show again in the near future.
My pleasure, and thank you so much again for having me.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Aldous Podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. We are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and any Android podcast of choice. You can also head over to our website, www.aldous.com, to listen to more podcasts, view our open roles, and stay up to date with industry news. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for more great episodes coming very soon.